Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is November 12th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to neutralize U.S. President Donald J. Trump by the date of November 15th of 2025. Most likely under the guise of a Jeffrey Epstein-related event. So, if you guys have not heard, yesterday, November 11th of 2025, the CIA manufactured emails from Jeffrey Epstein that have been linked to Donald J. Trump. These were released by Democrats within the House Oversight Committee, and this is specifically designed to provide a timely motive for the removal of Donald J. Trump from office. I have stated for the record on video multiple times that this government shutdown is not going to end until Donald J. Trump is removed from power. The CIA is behind the scenes manipulating information, votes, and they are basically trying to remove this man from power any which way. And they have evidently settled on Jeffrey Epstein. Because there's equal outrage in both parties, both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, because Trump is basically linked to Epstein, whether he likes it or not, because he was a member of his club at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. And so the CIA has gone to great lengths to basically create and spawn the narrative that Donald J. Trump is a pedophile and is guilty of sex crimes. And this was confirmed less than 24 hours ago after the CIA released these emails are fake, I believe. And I believe that under further investigation, they will be found out to be fake, because the CIA is notorious for creating deep fake videos, AI, videos, photos, as well as emails. But Donald J. Trump is not going to be around in order to find out, because they're going to neutralize him in some form or fashion. So exactly how the CIA is going to neutralize a sitting U.S. president by the date of November 15th is obviously not known, but the five most likely scenarios is that the CIA suicides Trump under guise of shame, fear, or a mental break in aftermath of being linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Again, they'll likely claim that he had a guilty conscience and that he just wanted to remove himself from the situation in order to foreshadow and set the precedent for the impending assassination of Donald J. Trump under the guise of a self-inflicted suicide. The CIA assassinated Jeffrey Epstein witness Virginia Giuffre in near Gobi, Western Australia, back on April 25th of 2025. Her father stated on May 1st that he thought that somebody, quote unquote, got to her. And then Jeffrey Epstein associate Jean-Luc Brunel was assassinated while incarcerated at La Santé prison in Paris, France, back on February 19th of 2022. And of course, Jeffrey Epstein himself was suicided while incarcerated at Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City back on April 10th of 2019. Many people think Jeffrey Epstein is alive, but Donald J. Trump is not going to suffer that same fate, because he will be murdered, and then they'll claim that he committed suicide. Second option is that the CIA is going to arrest Donald J. Trump for alleged foreknowledge or participating or having links to these various crimes that Jeffrey Epstein committed. These include, but are not limited to, perjury, obstruction of criminal investigations, obstruction of state or local law enforcement, tampering with a witness, victim, or informant, retaliating against a witness, victim, or informant, obstruction of proceedings before department agencies, perjury, false declarations before a grand jury or a court, unsworn declarations under penalty of perjury, depositions and notarial acts perjury, or basic perjury, because Donald J. Trump has emphatically stated that he had no foreknowledge or knowing of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing behind the scenes, and then these emails today suggest that he did in fact know, and that is why the CIA created them. Because all the witnesses that could say otherwise have been murdered by the CIA, and so they're snipping people out of the situation so that they can frame the situation the way that they want to remove a sitting U.S. president. And it's imperative to note that this is Switzerland. That is why Jeffrey Epstein was killed on August 10th. This is 81. August 10th, 8-1. This is the August 1st, 8-1, is the Swiss National Day. So this is Switzerland removing a sitting U.S. president from power by creating a sex scandal around him and then murdering anybody that could say otherwise. Number 3, the CIA is going to stage the impeachment of Donald J. Trump by the date of November 15th. This would be the third time that Trump would have been impeached. He was impeached twice before for the alleged links to the January 6th false flag attack on the Capitol, which we know was orchestrated by another CIA operative, Nancy Pelosi, who refused to bring in the National Guard. And then, of course, the Trump phone call to Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine, which was complete bullshit. And luckily it was recorded. And so he was vindicated in both cases. But the CIA is going to go for strike 3 and try to nail him on impeachment. Coincidentally, a Democrat from New Mexico was just sworn in today. She voted to release the Epstein files, and this is what they're calling the secret vote to release the Epstein files. But I have a feeling that it's Republicans that are being paid by AIPAC that are going to betray Trump, and that they're all going to vote in secret to remove Trump under the guise of links to Epstein by the date of November 15th of 2025. Number 4, the CIA is desperately, after the Israeli Mossad assassination of Charlie Kirk in Orem, Utah, back on September 10th of 2025, the CIA has propagated Nick Fuentes, who is a federal agent of the United States government, de facto agent. So this guy is, I don't know if he's working with the FBI or the CIA or whatnot, but he is being propagated by Tucker Carlson, by Candace Owens, by CNN. They're all talking about him, by Bill Maher, and they're putting him up because he's an anti-Semitic scapegoat. Similar to Proud Boys, who's led by a Mexican named Takaro, I forget his first name. Fuentes is a Mexican, and he's masquerading as a white supremacist because he is the Judas goat, and he's going to be blamed for inciting anti-Semitic attacks that are going to be executed by the CIA in the United States. One of these attacks will likely take place targeting the White House, the U.S. Capitol building, in the aftermath of these direct links between Trump and Epstein. So the CIA has created this narrative that there's all these white supremacists, anti-Semitic people, and white Christian nationalists, and then Trump is, they're painting Trump as a pedophile, specifically to provide a timely motive for an alleged militia or some sort of right-wing backed attack targeting the Capitol, similar to January 6th. In this particular case, it's going to be biological or chemical in nature, and it's going to be specifically designed to spawn a second global biological pandemic. And then number 5, if they can't suicide Trump, if they can't arrest Trump, if they can't impeach Trump, if they can't stage a coup d'etat targeting Washington, D.C., then they'll resort to Plan E in this case, which would be a direct assassination. So they basically plan to Charlie Kirk Donald J. Trump, and then instead of a trans shooter, it's going to be a Christian shooter that's angry with Trump, for his alleged links to Epstein. So I believe that this is all going to happen by the date of November 15th. I say that because this is Trump's 299th day in office. It's also 29,009 days since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York. This has the 29 numerology, which is the 2 equates to the letter Z, not numerically, but symbolically. And so this is Z, ZI, or Z, which is phonetically, it's as the number 26, which equates to the letter Z in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Zionism. And so this is one of the ways that the CIA, that is why Benjamin Netanyahu was sworn in on December 29th of 2002, because the 29th is a Z, and Benjamin Netanyahu is the leader of the global Zionist movement. And so this is what's called reflective numerology in this case. It also marks 204 days since the CIA assassinated Jeffrey Epstein witness Virginia Giuffre in Australia. And of course, 204 is 24, which equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death. And so obviously they plan to suicide Trump once he is, if they suicide him directly, or then they arrest him, then they'll suicide him. If they impeach him, then they'll suicide him. And then if they stage a coup, he'll be murdered. And then if he's assassinated, he will obviously be murdered. So I believe this is all going to go down in the next 72 hours. And what's imperative to note here is that the evidence of the emails is fabricated. But the CIA doesn't care, because they're going to neutralize Trump. So obviously there's going to be no investigation, there's going to be no trial, and that's how we know that it's orchestrated by the CIA. It's proof is in the fact that Trump will never see the inside of a courtroom, and he will not be around to debate this publicly. And so that's one of the reasons why they assassinated Charlie Kirk, why they're trying to assassinate all independent journalists, is so that nobody can counter the narrative that's being put out there. And they plan to eliminate the biggest advocate for making America great again, which is Donald J. Trump, in the aftermath of this fabrication, this concoction by the CIA to create the means, the motive, and the opportunity for the suicide assassination of Trump, the arrest of Trump, the impeachment of Trump, a coup d'etat targeting Trump, or the political assassination of Trump. So obviously, if this happens, if this comes to fruition in reality in the next 72 hours by the date of November 15th, Saturday, November 15th, 2025, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with national, international, local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.